carried every outcome like it rested on my name. I tried to guard the future, to manage joy and pain, but every plan grew heavier the more I held control, until I placed the weight of it into your soul. This began when I let you lead, not knowing when, not seeing the horizon, just trusting you were there. I didn't lose direction when I loosened my demand. I finally found my freedom when I placed it in your hand. I learned how much a striving dressed itself as care, how fear pretended wisdom, how control became a prayer. But you were not impressed by how much I could steer. You asked me for surrender, not perfection, not career. You do not compete for control, you wait to be trusted. This began when I let you lead, not knowing where, not seeing the horizon, just trusting you were there. I didn't lose direction when I loosened my demand. I finally found my freedom when I placed it in your hand. The cloud moves slow, the fire did not explain, yet Israel followed presence, not a fully mapped terrain. Leadership was proven not by knowing what was next, but by staying aligned with what was present. Now I no longer panic when I don't feel in control. I trust the God who leads with wisdom for my soul. If following requires me to walk without a chart, I will still move forward with a yielded heart. This began when I let you lead through doubt and fear, when I stopped demanding clarity before I'd persevere. I will not reclaim the throne I finally laid down, for peace was not discovered until control was gone. So let my life reflect this turning. I can't forget, not that I mastered trusting, but that I finally let. If my faith has any starting place indeed, it began the moment I let you lead. I thought the pause meant nothing, just time I had to endure. A hallway without meaning, a season unsure. I kept my eyes on movement, on signs of change or shift, not knowing you were shaping me in the stillness of it. I was formed while I waited, not idle, not delayed. You were working in the silence where no progress seemed displayed. What I called empty moments, you were filling with your care. I was not being forgotten, I was being prepared. Now I do not rush the process or resent the pace. I trust the God who values depth more than display. If becoming takes longer than my patience wants to stay, I will still believe you're working in the waiting of today. I was formed while I waited, refined where time felt slow, learning how to trust you when I had nowhere else to go. I release my demand for proof before you move, for waiting did not weaken me, it strengthened what is true. So if my story carries wisdom I could not have planned, let it say I learned surrender while waiting in your hand. Not every holy change arrives with celebration. Some are born quietly while we wait. I thought belief would leave when certainty was gone. The faith required daylight and could not live in dawn. But something held me steady when the feelings fled. A quiet commitment that refused to end. This is faith that stayed when clarity withdrew, when I had no conclusions and no proof to use. Not loud, not sure, not dressed in confidence, just a heart that chose to trust and would not exit. I learned how quickly hope can be reduced to sound, to words that feel convincing while the ground is stable ground. But belief became embodied when the night was long, when choosing to remain felt like the bravest song. You did not keep me by excitement, you held me by your truth. This is faith that stayed when clarity withdrew, when I had no conclusions and no proof to use. Not loud, not sure, not dressed in confidence, just a heart that chose to trust and would not exit. The women came to tomb still, sealed by stone and fear. Faith did not yet know the news, but love still brought them near. Devotion walked before the miracle was shown. Trust arrived before the stone was rolled. Now I no longer fear the season stripped of light. I've seen how faith survives when it outlasts the night. If all I ever bring you is persistence thin and true, I believe you call it faith because it stayed with you. This is faith that stayed when I could not explain, when obedience was costly and belief felt plain. I will not reduce devotion to how strong I feel, for staying is the proof of what is real. So let my life be measured not by flare or and the quiet strength you planted that I didn't recognize. I was stronger than I felt because you were near, not because I was fearless, but because you were clear. When my knees were shaking and my voice was thin, you were doing a deeper work underneath the skin. Underneath the skin. I learned how much I judged my worth by how well I endured, by how little I admitted I was tired or unsure. But you did not measure courage by resistance alone. You called surrender strength when I was overthrown. You saw endurance forming where I only saw strain. I was stronger than I felt because you were near, not because I was fearless, but because you were clear. When my knees were shaking and my voice was thin, you were doing a deeper work underneath the skin. Underneath the skin. Oh, pray for power, for the thorn to disappear. But grace arrives sufficient, not the outcome he feared. Strength was not the absence of the weight he bore. It was Christ made visible in weakness more and more. Now I no longer fear the moments I feel small, the days my confidence refuses to stand tall. If your power finds its home where pride gives in, then I will not despise the places I feel thin. I was stronger than I felt, and I can see it now, not by what I carried well, but by how you held me up. I will not measure victory by how composed I appear, but by the faith that survived when you were near. When you were near. So if my story is told with honesty revealed, let it say I learned this truth when my strength was concealed, that I was never held together by myself. I was stronger than I felt because of you. I thought that grace arrived once I could name my need, once I understood the cost of every wrong indeed. But mercy met me earlier than language ever could. You loved me fully before I knew I should. You gave yourself to me before I knew your name, before my heart could separate devotion from the pain. Not as a response to how well I understood, but as a gift of love given before I knew. I tried to earn the kindness that had already been shown. I carried guilt like proof that growth had finally grown. But you were never bargaining with my regret or shame. You were steady in affection long before I changed. You didn't wait for readiness, you moved toward my need. You gave yourself to me before I knew your name, before my heart could separate devotion from the pain. Not as a response to how well I understood, but as a gift of love given before I knew. The cross was raised before I drew my first weak breath. Love decided life long before I chose him back. Redemption was not written after I improved. It was finished in compassion given before I knew. Now I stop pretending wisdom makes me worthy still. I trust the grace that met me when my faith was fragile. If all I ever bring you is a grateful view, I will rest in what was given before I knew. You gave yourself to me without demand or cue, not waiting on my promise or my point of view. I walk in confidence, not rooted in my proof, but in the unchanging love given before I knew. So let my life respond, not strive to earn or prove. Let it echo thankfulness for what you already chose. If my faith stands firm when understanding grew, it's because I was first love before I knew. I stood between two outcomes, neither one looked safe. One demanded confidence, the other asked for faith. I wanted reassurance written clearly in the sky, but all I heard was silence, inviting me to decide. This is where trust was chosen, not because I knew, but because I believed your heart was always true. No sign to lean against, no proof I could defend, just a quiet step forward where faith had to begin. I learned how fear disguises itself as careful thought, how hesitation dresses like wisdom when it's taught. But you were not confused by all the reasons I delayed. You waited for my will, not my certainty displayed. You did not force the moment, you honored my choice. This is where trust was chosen, not because I knew, but because I believed your heart was always true. No sign to lean against, no proof I could defend, just a quiet step forward where faith had to from what his eyes could see, trusting not the landscape, but the voice calling him. The promise was not visible, the future undefined, but obedience was written in the step behind. Now I no longer wait for courage to feel loud. Trust the whisper calling me beyond the crowd. If faith is simply choosing you when doubt is near, then I will choose you daily right here. This is where trust was chosen, again and again, not once in history, but in ordinary steps of faith. I will not measure believing by how secure I stand, but by how often I choose you with an open hand. So if my life is marked by moments no one knew, let them testify softly of the times I chose you. Not because the road was easy or the end was clear, but because trust was chosen right here. I thought the sacred moment ended when the prayer was done, when silence closed the heavens and the answers didn't come. I believed that faith was proven in the words I chose to say, but you were waiting for me. After the amen, you meet me after the amen, when the room is still, when hope must learn to walk without emotion or thrill. Not in the echo of my asking, but in the living through. You shape my faith in the hours after I've spoken to you.
I learned how easy it was to trust while speaking strong and clear.
You meet me after the amen, in the weight of each day, where choices preach louder than the prayers that I pray. I will not abandon the truth I confess, then I will live what I believe after the amen. So let my life reflect what my lips once declared. Not perfect understanding, but faithful care. If my faith is ever measured, let it be seen, then I stay true to you after the amen. I asked you for a reason I could hold without fear, a truth that settled everything and made the future clear. But you gave me no explanation, no outline, no defense. You gave me your presence in the middle of the unanswered. I am held without answers, without knowing the why. When the sky stays silent and the tears don't dry, not every prayer is solved, not every wound is sealed, but I am not abandoned when nothing is revealed. I thought belief was built on certainty and proof, on understanding outcomes and calling it true. But you met me in the waiting, not the solved equation. You stayed when all I had left was desperation. You do not explain yourself away, you reveal your heart instead. I am held without answers, without knowing the why. When the sky stays silent and the tears don't dry, not every prayer is solved, not every wound is sealed, but I am not abandoned when nothing is revealed. I've never found the reason written in the storm, but he found the living God when the silence broke the norm. What faith survived was not the why he saw, but the one whose presence was enough. Now I rest my questions where my trust must live. I stop demanding clarity before I forgive. If mystery is where your closeness is revealed, then I will stay believing without being healed. I am held without answers, and that is my peace. Not every sacred story ends in quick release. I will not measure love by what you choose to show, for you are still with me, even when I don't know. So let my faith be deeper I thought faith required certainty, a courage without seams, a confidence untouched by fear or interrupted dreams. But you met me with a patience I had never known. You asked me not to conquer, only not to go. You gave me enough to stay when leaving felt like rest, enough grace for the question, not the answer at its best. I didn't need the ending or the strength to say I'm brave. You only gave me mercy, enough to stay. I measure devotion by endurance without sound, by how long I could carry what was breaking me down. But you taught me surrender is not quitting in disguise. It's trusting you are present when I cannot rise. You never demanded heroics, you invited honesty. You gave me enough to stay when leaving felt like rest, enough grace for the question, not the answer at its best. I didn't need the ending or the strength to say I'm brave. You only gave me mercy, enough to stay. The prophet stood in tension, not knowing what would come. Faith was not in fleeing, but in staying when it burned. Obedience was counted in remaining where it hurt. Trust was proved by presence, not escape. Now I no longer shame the days I barely stand, the moments when my faith fits only in my hands. If all I offer heaven is one more honest day, I believe you meet me there and call it faith. Give me enough to stay within the ache and strain, enough hope to keep breathing. Though the night remains, I will not demand tomorrow to validate today, for love has already given me enough to stay, enough to stay. So if my story is remembered for a quiet kind of grace, let it be said I did not run from the sacred place. Not because I was fearless or the road felt safe, but because God was faithful and He gave me enough to stay. I believe that faith meant standing firm ahead of everyone, knowing where the road to turn before the race was run. But there were days my courage bent, my vision couldn't see, and leadership dissolved into humility. You led me when I couldn't lead myself, when my strength was nowhere to be found. You carried the direction I had lost, and taught my heart to follow from the ground. I thought responsibility meant never breaking down, holding every answer, wearing confidence like a crown. But you were not impressed by what I tried to hold. You waited for my hands to open before you took control. You never shamed my weakness, you stepped into my need. You led me when I couldn't lead myself, when my strength was nowhere to be found. You carried the direction I had lost, and taught my heart to follow from the ground. Moses doubted language, courage worth and call, yet you spoke through trembling obedience, more than eloquent resolve. Deliverance did not begin with power fully formed, but with a man who followed while unsure and warm. Now I no longer fear the moments I must yield, where trust replaces strategy and outcomes stay concealed. If following requires me to lay my pride aside, I will gladly